Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise, get you those insights that really matter. And today we're hitting a big one. I think it's something a lot of us wonder about. Can you actually start building, real wealth with just 500 bucks? It feels like investing's this, exclusive club sometimes, right? Like you need a pile of cash just to walk in. But our source today gives a really practical, refreshing take on that whole idea. We're going deep into Turn $500 into Wealth, a beginner's guide to smart investing. It's from the Wall Street Trapper YouTube channel. He's pretty well known for breaking down these tricky financial things into steps that are super accessible, actionable, especially if you're just starting out with stocks.
Exactly. And our mission really for this deep dive is just that. How can $500, which seems small, actually become the seed for what he calls a freedom fund? And let's be clear up front, this isn't about, hitting the jackpot overnight. Far from it. It's about building a solid base, a real financial legacy. Because, like he says, the game doesn't care who play it.
That's such a great way to put it, isn't it?
Yeah. But the opportunity's there no matter where you start. So think of this deep dive as your blueprint. We're aiming for clear, consistent actions you can actually start taking to build that future.
Let's get into it. Okay, so with that idea that, anyone can play, the first big mental block for a lot of people is probably thinking, $500, that's nothing, not enough. How does Wall Street Trapper suggest we kind of shift that mindset, the one telling you to wait until you have more money?
It's crucial, a really vital reframe. He's very clear. You should absolutely not be thinking about turning 500 bucks into, say, 10 grand next month or $1 million overnight. That's just, well, in his words, that just ain't how the game go.
Right.
The system doesn't work like that, especially not for beginners. The number one thing, the foundation for anyone starting out, it's about creating a habit, just consistently buying. That's it. Take the pressure off trying to time the market perfectly or finding some crazy discount or getting lost in complex strategies. First step is building your position.
Building a position. Okay, for someone totally new, what does that actually mean? Break that down a bit.
Sure. A position is simply the amount you own of a stock or a fund, your ownership stake. The idea is to grow that stake over time, get more shares, not just chase a quick profit and sell out fast. So for you, the listener, making that mental shift from chasing quick wins to just building a consistent habit, that's probably more important than picking the perfect first stock. It's like, getting fit. Consistency beats one crazy workout every time, long term.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's psychological too, right? Like building the muscle memory for investing.
Exactly, a behavioral foundation.
So, okay, mindset shifted. We're focused on habit. What's the very first, concrete action step Wall Street Trapper recommends? Just getting your foot in the door.
Right. Before you buy anything, you need a place to, put your investments. So the critical first move, he emphasizes, is opening an investment account, a brokerage account.
Okay. And I bet even that feels a bit intimidating for some folks. Which platforms does he suggest, and why those ones specifically for beginners?
He gives a few solid options. E-Trade gets mentioned. He praises their customer service, their tools, seems user-friendly. Charles Schwab is another big one. He actually uses Schwab himself for his main accounts, his daughter's account, his Roth IRA. Especially since they bought TD Ameritrade, their platform got even stronger. Fidelity and Webull also get nods as, reliable choices.
Good to have options, and just as important, maybe more so for beginners. Where should you not go? Are there platforms to avoid?
Yeah, he's pretty direct about this. He says avoid platforms like Cash App.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Because it's not designed for serious long-term investing. It doesn't have the tools, the research, the kind of support you get with a real brokerage. And public. He says he's not crazy about them. It mixes social media with investing, which could be distracting.
Right. Chasing trends instead of building wealth.
Exactly. The danger is picking something just because it's easy or trendy, not because it's built for serious financial growth. You want a dedicated platform. It matters.
Okay, makes sense. Choose the right tool for the job. So accounts open. We've prepped the ground, basically. Now, we need the building materials, right?
Yeah.
What can you actually put your money into with this account? What are the options?
Right. So once the account's ready, you've got choices.
Yeah.
Not just buying shares of one company, though that's one way. You can buy individual stocks. That means owning a little piece of a public company. These are companies, that have to report their earnings publicly. How well they're doing affects the stock price.
Okay, standard stocks. Got it.
Then you have ETFs, exchange-traded funds. Think of these like like a basket holding lots of different stocks. Maybe an ETF holds Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Nvidia all together. The ETF's price moves based on how all those stocks inside it are doing, weighted by percentage.
So diversification built in, kind of?
Exactly. And similar to ETFs are index funds. These also hold lots of stocks, but they're designed specifically to track a market index. Like the S&P 500, you might see the ticker SDY for that one, or the Russell 2000, or the NASDAQ. They basically mirror the performance of a big chunk of the market.
Okay.
He also touches on fractional shares. This lets you buy just a piece of one share. So if a stock costs like $1,000 a share, you could buy maybe $50 worth. He doesn't focus on it as a main strategy, seems he prefers building up whole shares, but acknowledges it's useful, especially if you have very limited funds to start or want exposure to expensive stocks.
Yeah, that's super helpful for access. Okay, understanding these gives you choices, right? You, the listener, can see it's not just one path. You can pick what fits. So now we know the types of investments. Let's talk specific bricks. What are some of those quality companies under $100 Wall Street Trapper mentioned? Accessible ones for that $500 start.
Yeah, he gives some concrete examples of companies he sees as definitely strong and relatively affordable at the time. First one he lists is PayPal. Says it's strong, new CEO is doing well, good signs.
Okay.
Then Shopify. He calls it a dominant e-commerce player, doing amazing things. Hard to argue with that. He also brings up Walmart, which is interesting, right? He notes it was actually outperforming some of our tech companies, up like 60% at the time he recorded. Shows resilience.
Wow, yeah. Not always the flashy name.
Exactly. Then Chipotle. Even after a stock split, he calls it a great company, not going anywhere. Strong brand, strong fundamentals. And for a tech angle, Palantir. He mentions its strength in the AI game, which is obviously a hot area.
So good mix there. And it shows quality isn't always tied to a super high share price.
Precisely.
But crucial reminder here for everyone listening. These are examples from the source to show the idea of accessible quality. This isn't direct financial advice. Do your own homework, right?
Absolutely. Always do your own research. These just illustrate the concept.
Okay, so we've got the account. We know the types of investments. We have examples of accessible companies. Now the blueprint. How do we actually use that $500? What's the strategy?
Right. This is the core of his blueprint. First big rule. Don't zero out your account.
Don't zero out, meaning?
Meaning don't put every single dollar of that $500 into investments immediately. Keep some cash in the account, always. It gives you flexibility, a bit of a buffer, some dry powder, as they say, for later buys. Maybe the market dips, you can buy more. So his example was, with $500, maybe buy 3 shares of Walmart back when it was about $83. That leaves you with cash left over. You're not all in.
Okay. Keep some reserve. Makes sense. What's next?
Second, and this loops back to the habit, consistent contributions. You have to commit. Decide on an amount, whatever fits your budget, and invest it regularly. Every week, every 2 weeks with your paycheck, or every month. Every week, every bi-week, or every month, as he says. Automate it if you can. That's the engine.
Right, the consistency engine.
And third, and this is a key mindset shift, your goals are about shares, not profit, at least initially. Don't focus on taking profit quickly. Focus on building your positions, accumulating shares. So you start with those 3 Walmart shares. Maybe your goal is to get to 10 shares of Walmart. Then, okay, you start building a position in another company. Maybe Chipotle, get 10 shares there. Then maybe Palantir, 10 shares there. Then maybe the goal becomes 15 shares in each, then 20, then 25, across multiple good companies. Focus on the number of shares you own. That helps you ride out the ups and downs and benefit from long-term compounding.
Accumulate ownership, not just chase dollar signs. I like that.
Yeah. And one last tip he gives to accelerate this, leverage your tax returns. He suggests taking a good chunk, maybe 45% to 50% of your tax refund, and putting it straight in your investment account. That can give your accumulation a real boost each year.
That's a smart move. Using found money to build future money. Okay, so that whole blueprint, it really does sound like a clear path. Consistent, disciplined, long-term, that's how the $500 grows into that freedom fund.
That's the idea.
Yes.
It demystifies it, makes it feel achievable.
So let's wrap this up. The core takeaway for you listening. Starting with $500. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme, forget that. It's about building a really powerful habit. Being disciplined, consistently investing in quality companies, building up your ownership, your positions, share by share, over time.
Exactly right. It's building that freedom account, building your legacy, literally one share at a time. And the source speaker, Wall Street Trapper himself, his story is powerful. He says he started from, well, a really difficult place, and now He talks about having over $4 million in his account. He even used $850,000 from his investments to buy a building. Not just for him, but to use it to help teach others in his community about financial freedom, show them this path. His journey really underlines the potential of this approach, if you stick with it. Patience and consistency.
That's incredible proof of concept right there. Okay, so final thought for you to chew on. Given this blueprint, this focus on consistent building, on accumulating shares in quality companies, how might your own definition of wealth or financial freedom start to change? Maybe it's less about hitting some huge dollar number and more about, the power that comes from disciplined action, from patience, something to think about.